brain to reduce brain damage up to 50%. So every time you wake up in the morning, take a dose of 95.5 and get your brain renewed, yeah, and keep your brain young. About FM, we also have business partners, and every time we do advertisement for you, we go to our way, we do research to ensure that you actually meet your objectives. So every time you partner with us, be sure that in Coast Market you're covered. We're the pioneer radio here. We have the market, we have the trust of the people, and we go to our way to deliver for you. We do for you events, we do for you productions, anything that will enhance your brand and grow it. Shikamo! Shikamo! Thank you very much.
Hi everyone. My name is Grace Mwaniki and I work with MultiChoice. I'm the corporate sales executive of Coast Region. And I'd like to tell you about our products and the offer that we have from MultiChoice. We have the Zappa full kit that goes for 4,500. With that, you'll be able to get the dish, decoder, installation, plus 1 month of compact. And I'd like to ask you some questions. How many times have you been stuck in the traffic and you have a program running at home and you know that you are running late? Or how many times have you had to travel and you've paid for your package and you know that when you travel you're going to miss something that you've been following on the TV? Well, at MultiChoice we have a solution for that, and that's why we came up with the Explorer. It goes for only 10,000 shillings, and with that you'll be able to have a television that waits for you, a television that works on your command. By that I mean you'll be able to forward, you'll be able to rewind, you'll be able to record, and you'll have all the entertainment that you want at your control. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
My name is Louis Mwangi. I represent James Cambridge International School in Nairobi. What I do, I handle enrollments and marketing, but that's besides the point. What we do as a brand is prepare your children for the future. And the question then is, what's the future? What does it hold for your children? And tonight I want to just challenge you to think about your children, what you think you're preparing them to do in the future. Interesting fact, I don't know how many of us have children who are 12 years and below. If you have a child who's 12 years and below, one thing I want to tell you, 65% of every child who's 12 years and below will do a job that does not exist today. So think about the education that you're preparing your children for in the future. Please have a chat with us. We'll be here with my colleague Juliet. She's seated right there. It's her birthday today. I would have sung happy birthday, but I don't know how to sing. So catch you later.
Good evening, guys. My name is Diana Kara. My brand is Safaricom Limited. I'd like to appreciate all of you for taking time to make it to Marketing Africa Quiznite. And in the same light, I'd like to thank Marketing Africa for actually giving us this platform to come and interact. What I do, I'm a fixed data support analyst in Coast Region. And today, what I want to touch on is lifestyle. We all have a lifestyle. And Safaricom with Twaweza, we want to try and take that burden off your lifestyle. So we have a product we call Safaricom Platinum. Platinum basically gives you the opportunity to channel your, we all have, how can I put it? We all know what lifestyle is, the way of living. We all have expenses and stuff. So with Safaricom, we want you guys to comfortably be able to sustain your lifestyle by taking the burden off your communication. So we have Safaricom Platinum. This package, for as low as 1,000 shillings, you can be able to get 4 GB, 200 minutes of call time, free WhatsApp, and unlimited SMSs. So you can focus on other things in your life. In addition to that, we give you discounts at Shell. Tunajua petrol has been increased and stuff. So we give you discounts at Eat Out, Shell, Ticket Sasa. So Twaweza with Safaricom.
My name is Jackie Maina. I am from Alchemy Brands. Specifically, we produce hair care and skincare products, namely Mikala and Nuvera. Nuvera is new in the market, but I can tell you for sure it's not the same as every other lotion you guys have. Yeah, take my word for it. I have some gifts. I have a couple of gifts for you, but in return, I need a favor. How many of you have your phones? Siwaoni. Aya, najua mko Instagram. Instagram? Open your Instagrams. Open your Facebooks. Are we there? Look for Nuvera Skincare. Just look for it. I can see you. I'll go by then. Tena kuangalia pale nyuma. Nuvera Skincare, and I'd appreciate it if you guys followed us so that we can keep you informed about your skin and everything it has to do with it. After all, see, 100% of us have skin. Thanks.
My name is Dr. Batul. I work with AR Healthcare, and I'd like to thank Marketing Africa for having us here, and we appreciate being here. Thank you.
I hope you are enjoying your dinner. My name is Joshua Wale from the Sales and Marketing Department. We're in charge of Sarova White Sands and Coast Region, that is Sarova Salt Lake and Sarova Taita Hills. But today I want to talk briefly about our festive season, which is coming up. On the 31st of December, we are going to throw a very big party here at the Coast Region, and we have invited some of the artists that will be Sauti Sol will be presenting, and also on the 24th December we have Masi Maira and Girard who will be performing live here at the Sarova White Sands. You are all welcome, and please come and enjoy the festive season with us. In the coming week, just the following week, we are going to have our Lido restaurant, which is being renovated and being rebranded. Soon it will be operating from maybe Tuesday or Wednesday next week. We also invite you to come and taste the seafood that we'll be serving at the restaurant. Feel most welcome and enjoy your dinner.
Good evening. This forum gives us opportunity to interface once in a while. I see most of you, by the way, only in this forum. I should say that I'm happy that you still support the project. Please keep supporting it. Minus your support, we can never roll out such a program. Isn't it? As Marketing Africa, our job is to help enlighten you, and our primary project that delivers that for us is Marketing Africa magazine. I know that when we went digital, a lot of you are massively challenged. Some because of the challenge, of course, of acquiring bundles, and others of just being challenged in that window, especially Dr. Wale. We've been praying for you, and soon we shall be offering lessons so that you can catch up. A club for Wale especially. Of course, the other forum that we use to continue the enlightenment are the marketers' nights that we do and the quiz nights. And in them, regional logistics, I'm watching you, and in them, we bring you keynote speakers who help you to see how to do things better in your lives. We appreciate all that you give us as friends, all that you give us as partners, all that you give us as whatever you come in. And I'm particularly impressed with Frida Owinga and Dr. Wale. I have not seen people who have invested massively in empowering others. A lot of us, after getting a small corner office, we imagine we've reached the sun, so you disconnect from reality and become a boss of nothing. These two people have seen it all. They invest all their time in giving back to society. A clap for them, please. That you accepted to come to speak to us, Frida and Dr. Wale, we are humbled and will always be humbled. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work. May I take this opportunity to invite you, Frida, to talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kalombo, for having me speak here tonight. And thank you, everyone who is here. Nice to see you, Dr. Wale. And humbled to speak on the same platform with you. And I will be sharing with you strategies on creating a market-dominating position. I work with small business owners, and one of the things I've discovered when I'm working with them is they copy corporate a lot, and sometimes what we copy does not help us. But one thing I've discovered helps us is getting a focus, because most people lack a focus because we are trying to copy everyone. So getting a focus. And to be able to get a focus, we created this training called a market dominating position. And it's a 5-module series, but I'll just share with you a little bit to give you, I hope it will give you some insights on how to do that for your organization and to get more clients. And tonight is quiz night, so I'm going to ask you a silly question. Can I ask you a silly question? I have gifts. Do you like gifts? Well, I won't ask you to do me a favor, then I give you a gift, but yeah. Who can just shout, what is the purpose of marketing? I'm not a marketer. You want to answer? What's the purpose of marketing? Make people buy what they don't want. I like that. All right. I really like that. What else? Purpose of marketing? This side is covered. All right. Did I see a hand? Okay. The selfie ladies, you want to tell us what is marketing about? I'm sorry, I'm picking on you. Go ahead. Yes. Meeting people's needs profitably. Meeting people's needs profitably, making them buy what they don't want. On this side, I promise I'll sit down soon. I don't have many slides. So the sooner you answer, the sooner I'll sit down. What is the purpose of marketing? Did I hear something? Promoting? Promoting your services and products. All right. Thank you so much. So I'll tell you what I think it is. Number one is capturing attention of your market audience. And that's why when you don't have a focus, it becomes difficult if you're trying to capture everyone, isn't it? And it's also giving them hope that your marketing will give them enough information to help them make the best decision possible. All right. And the last one is lower the risk in the next step of the buying process. So in the buyer's journey, the buyer today needs information, and there's already so much information. It's not like before when the seller was the king, but now the buyer is king because there's so much information out there. So you need to capture their attention. You need to give them hope that you need to give them hope that your marketing will give them enough information to help them make a decision, because there are so many others competing with their attention. So what is a market dominating position? It's a 5-module series, but I'll just give you one part of it, which is what it is, and then and an equation that can help you create your marketing messages. A market dominating position is any value-added customer perceived benefit. Oftentimes when I speak to business owners or people in marketing, because I work with small business owners and marketing professionals, we tend to focus on what we want the customer to think as opposed to what the customer is already thinking. So it's the perceived benefit by the customer, not by us. And thank God for marketing research, we can get that. So any value-added customer perceived benefit, a combo of benefits that differentiates you. What do your customers and target market perceive as valuable? Do you understand their needs, their wants, their troubles and inconveniences? Every customer has two needs. Who can tell me? Two. Every customer has two needs. Lucky guess. The one satisfaction and the other one? You have one, all right? Who can tell me the two? Sorry? They want value or they want snakes. Can somebody carry Kalombo out? What do you mean? All right. I'll stay away from the quiz night and answer my questions myself. Everybody, every prospect, every customer has something that they have that they don't want. There's something they have that they don't want, and there's something they don't have that they want. Did you get that? So what are the two things? Every something they have that they don't want, and something they don't have that they want. Absolutely. So every customer has a need and aspiration. Oftentimes we focus on the need, we don't focus on the aspiration. When I'm working with small business owners, they have a need to make money. The aspiration is to own a home, own a car, all the things that they used to dream about when they were working for others. So your customers also have an aspiration. So if you can carve your messages to meet the aspiration as well as the need, then you win faster. And that's why when you're creating a market dominating position, you need to think like your customers think. And thinking like your customers think will require you to know their needs, their wants, their troubles, and their inconveniences. One of the things when you ask Kenyans, I don't know about people in Mombasa, how are you doing? What do we normally say? Say that again? Tunangangana, isn't it? What else do we, why are we always nganganaring? Or tunajaribu, right? Somebody can change that for Dr. Wale. If he doesn't know, tunangangana na tunajaribu. All right? So, sorry? Na hali yetu, that one I don't know. Tunangangana is the one I know the most. So you need to think how they're thinking. So know their needs, their wants, their troubles, and their inconveniences. So when you're creating a market dominating position, there are 5 steps that you take. Number 1, you need to know what is your secondary position. For instance, I'm a trainer. That is a secondary position. I speak. I'm a professional speaker. I train. And then my primary position is I do entrepreneurship. I can do leadership and management. I can do marketing. So the primary dominating position is entrepreneurship. Then the strategic one is marketing. The key thing I help business owners with is getting them all the customers they can get, helping them get all the leads they can to make the money they want. So that is the key thing that I do, so that I'm not just in the secondary market of entrepreneurship. So you also, when you're creating your market dominating position, that is how you get your focus. What is your focus? And then out of that, you create your market dominating position statement. Some people call it an elevator pitch. I prefer to call it an MDP statement. And that's the one part that I'm going to share with you today. What do you say when you're asked, who are you? The young gentleman was asking us, tell us who you are, what you do, and why. All right? So that's your MDP statement. And oftentimes, especially marketers are very fond of this. Will you forgive me? Marketers like to say, I'm a marketer. Is that true or false? False. All right? Who do you like to say you are? If you said false, please stand up and tell us who you are and what you do. Anybody who doesn't introduce themselves as marketer? Anybody wants to try? I had a lot of false over there.
Right. So first and foremost, you shouldn't ask what people do.
Okay.
Because then it's not what they do that matters to you.
Okay.
You want to know what value they have to bring to your business. So if someone is going to actually approach you and say hello the first time, they need to have understood a couple of things. They need to have researched you, gone to your website, know who you're about, and based on the use case,
yes,
that's how they come and position who they are to that person without someone actually necessarily asking who they are and what they do. Because then the moment you're there, you've lost them already.
So what should they ask?
Give me a use case, then I'll give you one.
Sorry?
Give me a use case to the scenario, then I can give you the right question.
Let's pretend we've met at a networking event, you and I.
So we've met at a networking event.
Like we've met here.
Okay, so how do you do? My name is Cedric.
Nice to meet you, Cedric.
Pleasure. I think today you look ravishing.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
And I would also like to...
I'm the one who's looking ravishing, not Cedric, so you can clap looking here. Go ahead, Cedric. Go ahead.
I'd really love to get to learn and know, understand what it is you represent, the company that you work for, and what value you bring to your market.
Okay, I'm a business breakthrough coach, and I help people turn their passion into profit so that they can create a life and work they absolutely love and enjoy.
We've been looking... So allow me to also then come back and say, what do you do?
I help people turn their passion into profit.
No, but then you're actually giving more than I have asked for, because then my question, remember, there's actually a lot of possibilities that it could actually have. So what I was actually saying is the way you answered was very precise, but it was precise because there was also a precision question. So you spoke about what it is exactly that you had to actually...
When? The first time or the second time?
Yes. Because if you ask me that question out of interest, as an example...
Yes.
Please ask.
Which one? You have two questions.
The same question.
I'm confused. What do you do?
Women.
For work. You're a real Jedi, so I'm going to leave you alone. It's a common question to ask people, what do you do when you meet them at a networking event? So it is common for people to ask you what you do when you go out for networking events. So it depends where you meet, but it is common. You will be asked, what do you do? And many people say, I'm a marketer, I'm an accountant, I'm an entrepreneur has become very common. And I often make fun that there's a time when being a pastor was the cool thing if you didn't have work. But now the cool thing is being an entrepreneur. So be careful when you tell people you're an entrepreneur. You'll just sound like somebody who doesn't have work. So you might want to find something else. Anyway, so back to my message so I can sit down. So there are 5 key things we cover in creating a market dominating position. How do you define your secondary position, your primary position, and your strategic position? Like I said, I'm a trainer. I train in entrepreneurship. My key thing is marketing, which is helping people get more customers so that they can make all the money that they want. And then the next thing is how to come up with a dominating position statement depending on where you're going to do, where you're going to be, as the Jedi has rightly told us. And then what will be your supporting business model to support the promise of your position. But today I'm going to just share. Can you see the screen? Can everybody see the screen? All right, I want you to take a quick look at the screen and then let me know what you think about that website. All right? And then I'm going to share with you our conversion equation formula. What do you think of the website? Anything? Item? Specializing in bullying. All right. So you have a problem with that? Anybody else? Yes. Okay.
The information is overwhelming.
The information is overwhelming. All right. Anyone else? You want to say something? Okay.
It captures anyone's attention with free consultation.
It captures.
Yeah, with free consultation.
Okay. So do you like that? Do you care? You like it? It's free. Baraka, do you give us anything for free? All right. How many people like the free? How many people like the free? Nobody. You don't like free. Why don't you like free? No value, there's a problem. So you'll shy away from that. All right? It's actually
perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah, because the topic is precise.
Okay.
It gives you what it is. If you're looking for parenting advice and resources, I specialize in these fields, and I can give free consultation for us to see, to show you the value that I bring. So what is my credibility? And that credibility, I'll get it if you let me consult you for 30 minutes, and if you like, listen to what I have to speak or what I have to say from the video clip that I've got here. So in just one screenshot, he's actually, not only has he said who he is, and what he does, and what value he brings to your life, he's actually locked it by also closing the sale before it began.
He has closed the sale?
Yeah.
Where has he closed the sale?
He's closed the sale by saying, if you give me free consultation, right, if you let me do free consultation for you, of course I'm going to have to engage you in a way that it's not going to be 30 minutes anymore. So the 31st minute is already now, we're already calculating. I mean, it's money coming in, and that value comes from that video.
Okay, that money comes from the video. All right. You have refused. Thank you, Cedric. Makofi, Cedric. Cedric has really tried. Okay.
I think.
What's your name, sir?
Tom Simba.
Thompson Park.
Simba. Mufasa.
Thompson Simba.
Anyway, going to that, I don't think that guy, I think that guy is fake. You can't have...
That guy is fake. Why?
You can't have 30 things you're specialized in. So, that one, including pre-consultation, dismissed.
All right. I wish you could tell me your name again, sir.
Tom Simba.
Tom Simba. Let's put our hands together for Tom Simba. You're a real Simba. So Tom says that the guy is fake. You can't have so many things that you're specializing on, and I agree with him. That is the problem. You cannot dominate when you're specializing in so many things. All right, so if he's a psychologist, he should be specializing in an area. So lack of focus will always get your competitor to get the deal. All right, so you need to decide where is your strength. As long as I'm an entrepreneurship trainer, there are dozens of entrepreneurship trainers. But the minute I become the trainer who can help you get all the customers you need to make the cash you want, then I'm very specific. They're just the people who need more customers that will come to me. So not everybody needs to come to me. So I'll quickly show you some of the problems with that website. Number one, as I lead to the equation of how to come up with the formulas of how to say what it is that you do. So number one, the image over there, he's talking about parenting advice and resources from John Smith. Oftentimes, the image that he used should create a perception in the mind of your buyer. So number one, the image, I'm going to show you. The next slide will show you another image. Number two, there is no focus. Number three, free consultation shows no value. So it's important to say what is the consultation about. It can be a free strategy session. So it shows that when we come to my strategy session, what will you get as opposed to just blank free? And then there's one other thing that's a problem, the one-way contact. Now, this is very common on our websites. You'll find that we have our contacts there, but that is one way. If this person calls and they don't find you, how will you have their contact? You need to have a way of generating leads that everybody that calls you or works with you, you also take their contacts so that you can contact them back. So that already is a revolving door, so to speak. So here is the revised website, all right? And in the revised website, it uses the marketing equation formula, all right? So what this guy does, over here we saw parenting advice and resources from Dr. John Smith, very vague. It could be any kind of advice. But what he really does is he deals with children who yell a lot. I don't know if you have this kind of children in Kenya. Are you sick and tired of the yelling, screaming, and belligerent attitude of your child? So very specific, all right? Nigerians, all right. Okay, I'm not a Nigerian, so I wouldn't know. Then now he interrupts you. So now you can discover the secrets to controlling your child and instantly restore peace and quiet in your home. And notice now he doesn't have the free contact us. Now he's actually giving you value. He has a squeeze page, what we call a squeeze page. Does any organization have a squeeze page on their website? All right. A squeeze page is a place where you collect contacts. Like he says that instead of the free consultation, he says, learn the secrets to gaining and maintaining complete control of your child in less than 60 seconds. So you give him your contacts and he will send it to you. Why do you think that is valuable? Have I lost you? Is that valuable or not? So that is a way of generating leads. Most of the times when I ask people, how do you generate leads? How do you generate leads? What is the most common answer? How do you generate leads? How do we generate leads? Just shout. How do you generate leads? Sorry? Networking? Cold? Canvassing? Cold calls?
Randomly.
Randomly?
Yeah, just
all right.
Randomly.
What else? Thank you. Randomly calling people. If you answer questions, I might give you the series. All right. So that is one good way of collecting leads, because the person who clicks and puts their name is somebody who needs your services. It's not a random like on Facebook, because I find people think a like on Facebook is great, but it's not money in the bank. But a lead that has given you, this is a lead that can convert to money because they're interested in what you're doing and it's very specific. So the marketing equation formula, and I sit down, is when you write your marketing messages, and I put both of them for you to see now, number one, you start with an interruption. You interrupt your audience, and you interrupt them by thoughts, their own words, their own thoughts. You notice the first website said parenting advice and resources from Dr. So-and-so, but the other one was, are you sick and tired of children that are yelling blah, blah, blah? Because that is what will take you to this doctor, all right? And then the other thing is, after that, you interrupt and then you engage. Are you sick and tired? And then the next thing is, now you can discover the secrets to controlling your child. And then he engages you, and then he gives you an offer. Oftentimes we go straight to the offer, all right? Special offer, discount, we are selling this, we are selling the other. But this is a way to catch attention and to show the person what your focus is immediately, all right? And the good thing about it is you get leads. Referrals are great, but referrals are not predictable because you never know when you will get the next one. But these are predictable because these are people that care about what you're doing. That's why they've given you their names and their contacts. So you start with you interrupt, you engage, educate, and then ask for the offer. For instance, I can tell small business owners, are you tired of being busy? Do you find you're always busy yet broke? I think I got it up here. No, I didn't have it. Do you find yourself busy yet, bro? Because we are always busy, but where's the money? All right. So I tell them, do you know that you're just supposed to do 20% of what you're doing to make 80% of what you need? And I can show you how. All right. So using the words of how the prospect is thinking is very powerful in getting their attention and getting them to seek you instead of your competitor. So the marketing equation, you start with interrupt, and then you engage them, and then you educate them, and then you offer. Offering before you interrupt, engage, and educate is like asking a girl to marry you before you court them. All right. So traditional copy starts with company, product, or service and its features, benefits, and comparative superiority, which is what we commonly do. But if you want to stand out from your competitor, you have to learn to interrupt, educate, engage, and then offer. All right? So sales and subtlety are not twins. So if you prefer to be subtle, you will not stand out. All right? Ordinary and normal are normally ignored. Like that guy's website, the first website was ignored. He got more leads with the second website, and he got more conversions. Cautious and calm normally go unnoticed, all right? And then selling before marketing does not end in a relationship. You want to market before you sell, and I'm sure you know that because you're marketers. As I wind up, offers are great, but offers make people lazy. You know, offers like buy one, get one free, X% discount, then people will always be waiting for you to give an offer before they buy from you. But if you learn to use informational offers, then you will stand out from your competition. Information is king today. And one of the things you can do is what this guy did on his website. Having a squeeze page on your website is very helpful to give people different kinds of information about what it is that you do. Then you continue to position yourself as an authority as opposed to looking like your competitor. And some of the things that you can give are free reports. If you're a professional, 10 tips of how to be. What professions do we have in here? I know we have DSTV. I had DSTV. The DSTV lady was telling us about having the TV that can record for you stuff when you're gone. So she can come up with something that can definitely beat Zuku, because Zuku doesn't have that. Okay, so her free report would be something about having your favorite programs while you're gone or something. And then so you can have free reports for the different professions that you have. 10 marketing tips. 5 this or 5 the other, different reports that you can give people on your website. Idea guides if you're service contractors. Self-assessments like that guy who was giving a free consultation. If you're in services, a coach, a consultant, you can give people a free self-assessment or some kind of assessment for what you do. It will help you see what their problems are, and you can diagnose a solution for them. And consumer reports also are helpful in getting people to know you and what it is that you do. Finally, effective copy is written backwards from the customer's interests, desires, frustrations, fears, thoughts, feelings, and experiences, journeying to a revealing of a solution tied to your offer. Write like you talk and infuse enthusiasm and emotion. Be sensational and command attention while establishing relevance and credible authority to create proactive interest, like this guy did. You see, he said, are you sick and tired of the yelling, screaming, belligerent attitude of your child? So those are the things that he takes care of. Now you can discover the secrets of how to control your child. So be relevant, and then you'll be more credible, all right? Be sensational and command attention while establishing relevance and credible authority to create proactive interest. This is the example I was giving you. I use this for business owners. Are you tired of being busy and broke? Most business owners focus on the 80% that brings them only 20%. Our 5-step profit formula is designed to get you all the customers you can handle to make all the cash you desire and deserve. And then the offer will come after that, whatever program it is that we are having. So that is just a very brief a snippet of what is in the whole program. The whole program is called 5 strategies to create a market dominating position is an online resource, and there are 5 modules to it, and it comes with an online assessment, and it comes with 3 case studies of how you can do that. A case study of an accountant, a case study of somebody who sold carpets. I can't remember the third one, but there are 3 case studies, and you also get an online assessment that will help you see how you will assess how you generate leads, how you do your conversions, how you get transactions. What else do you get? How you price, because a lot of times in our market, I notice we compete on pricing, and we compete on pricing because we have not clearly defined all our values. So people are always thinking we look like our competitor. But if you use this method of interrupt, educate, and engage, then you begin to draw more value of who you are and what you're doing. Then you become very different from what your competitor is doing, and that is what it is about, creating a market dominating position. So in this training, you get all that. It's a digital resource. You can hear it at home. You can hear it with your marketing team when you want. It's normally 7,500, but I'm going to give it to anybody who wants it for 5,000 shillings. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. Then I'll be seated.
She has been the best supporter for this forum ever since we launched it many years ago. She's a doctor by profession. She has never tired in mentoring. She always sponsors a team to this forum. She always sponsors people to any other learning forum. A clap for her, please. I want her to say hi to you, just as an appreciation. Thank you.
Hi and bye and enjoy yourselves.
Thanks, Auntie Othigo. Our next speaker is none other than Dr. Wale. As I said earlier, he's a rare species, nearly an endangered type. In other words, according to his own English, he's a Mumu Emeritus. That means he's way beyond what you think. Dr. Wale, please come and teach us.
Hello. It's a great privilege to be here once again. We've been on this journey for many years together in different countries, and I'm so happy to be here tonight. I want to thank Frida for setting the foundation for the things we're going to talk about. Well done, well done, well done, well done. I remember the first time I met Frida was many, many years ago at Ole Sereni, Marketers Night. Well done. I am very happy to see Silverstone. It's Silverstone, isn't it? You have such fine girls. So it's not the airline I'm commending, it is the fine girls. Okay, the airline is good. If I came in today, I fly Silverstone at least once a week. So fine. That's a lot of motivation. DSTV, MultiChoice, where are you? If you knew what I was going to say, you won't shout. I remember a few years ago, I met with your leadership, and I told them disruption was coming. They were speaking big English, big English, big English. Today, disruption has cut them off. Today, you are struggling. Wahala. Anyway, there's still hope. There's hope. It's not all lost. There is hope. Because I was so passionate. I met with all your leaders, the CEO, everybody. We went to Naivasha. And we sat down speaking English. And I said, disruption is coming. We simulated disruption. You were there. Did I tell the truth? Am I telling the truth? I said the thing is coming now. Everybody was talking big English, nothing like a gamma lizard. Today, Wahala has come. Anyway, so for those who don't know me, my name is Wale, and I am allergic to mediocrity. I'm allergic to bullshit. I call a spade and not an agricultural tool. Is that okay? So can I just roll it out tonight? Are you ready? Are you ready? All right. Let me start by saying one of the biggest problems facing the African continent is a word, a big word that starts with B. And that word is not bullshit, it is benchmarking. You see, we lack we so lack originality. We have benchmarked everything to the point we have benchmarked stupidity, we have benchmarked mediocrity, we have benchmarked idiot, we have benchmarked everything. Are you hearing me? And if we are going to move forward as a people, we need to reconfigure our brains. That's where the word mumu comes from. Mumu is a person whose reasoning faculty is in a state of suspended animation. That means if they did not have a brain, they will not miss the fact that they don't have a brain. That means if you could sell their brain, you will get top dollar because it has never been used before. That means if somebody hearing me, you know, I'm on fire. I've been sitting with 2 fire chicks tonight. You know? Wahala. Anyway, no, the truth is, a mumu is somebody who thinks he's thinking, but he's just rotating ignorance around his head. Come on, lift up your hand and say, I refuse to be a mumu. Ask the person next to you, are you a mumu? All right, wonderful. But let's on a serious note, when we look around the world today, a lot of funny things are happening. Telecommunications companies are venturing into banking. Apps are disrupting the services we know as, platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, all these guys, they are disrupting traditional television. And with all these disruptions going on, my question is, where is the competition? Where is the competition? Could banks have foreseen? And one question I'm asking a lot these days is, where does foresight come from? Where does foresight come from? I know a gentleman who in 1974 bought a piece of land in a back end of Karen for peanuts. Today, many years later, within a 1 kilometer radius, he has properties worth 2 billion. Where does foresight come from? Because if we had foresight, then we will be disruptors by default. And I study the subject of disruption. So listen to a few thoughts. Tesla is known for electric cars. But do you know Tesla has also developed solar roofs? That means when you put a Tesla roof, or whatever they are called, you don't need to be connected to the power grid. Now think with me. If that comes to Nairobi, that comes to Kenya, that means a company that I work with so dearly, Mabati Rolling Mills, will become obsolete. That means Kenya Power and Lighting will become obsolete. So we don't know where the disruption is coming from. But one thing we know is that the disruption is imminent. We cannot pray it away. And I've always said a problem rooted in ignorance cannot be solved by prayer. Because even God said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So if God cannot use ignorance as a raw material, nobody can. No, is somebody hearing me? So I want to prepare you tonight because disruption is imminent. So what do we do about it? When Amazon became the greatest threat to the traditional bookshop, nobody would have imagined that the threat to a bookshop would be a website. Am I making sense? Nobody would have imagined. Let's look at in America, Super Bowl is the big thing, apex of sporting. And companies spend millions and millions of dollars, all right, because of the millions of eyes that are going to be glued to the TV screen. But in 2017, something happened. 111.3 million people watched Super Bowl on TV. But do you know, how could they have imagined that the greatest threat to Super Bowl dominance was not going to come from a TV station, it was going to come from a video game? And this is, I'm not telling you my opinions, I'm telling you facts. Look, more than 360 million, nearly 3 times the people that watched Super Bowl watched the 2017 esports competition called the League of Legends. So a video game is disrupting the biggest sporting event in the United States. So that way, listen, we cannot continue to think the way we used to think. A person who thinks at 50, the way he thought when he was 30, has wasted 20 years of his life. We cannot continue to think the way we used to think and expect we are going to remain relevant. So, what is the... Let me tell you something that's important. Intelligence is not enough to save you from the disruption that is coming. Because there are so many intelligent idiots walking the face of the earth every day. You see, and there are people who assume the lie that once intelligent, always intelligent. Listen, no matter how intelligent you are, there is a force of ignorance that is pressing against you. So your rate of accumulation of information must be exponentially greater than the rate of resistance coming from ignorance. Now, and that is why I tell people, listen, my father was a professor of medicine. He was a great guy, went to Johns Hopkins, all these great places. But I said, if you practice medicine using what you learned in medical school in 1966, verily, verily, I say unto you, thou shalt be a serial killer. Because everything has changed. Now, you know what has happened? Our educational system so brainwashed us to think that was all we needed. And talking of the educational system, let me tell you something about that. When I was a kid, my father insisted we just have to read. All the time, read your book, read your book. We had this funny television set. It was a black and white TV. When you switched it on, you needed time for it to warm, to come on. Now, we had one TV station that started broadcasting at 6 p.m. with the national anthem. And then they closed at midnight. My father, we could not watch TV. We had to watch only on weekends. But I wanted to watch. Now, my father says, read your book. When I hear my father's car coming, I quickly switch off the TV. But those TVs were from hell. Because after you switch it off for 10 minutes, there's a white spot in the middle. That white spot, just in the middle. So my father comes, you're watching TV, bossa. You know, when you are talking, Frida, and says, are you tired of your children making, come to Nigeria? My mother's favorite scripture, foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. The rod of correction will drive it far. Beat the child, it shall not die. No, is somebody hearing me? Now, so the TV, when you look at the TV of today and the TV of my childhood, they are different, isn't it? When you look at the phone of today and the phone of when I was a kid, let me tell you, the phone of when I was a kid was a rotor phone. Now, my parents didn't want me to make calls, so they had a small padlock. They just put it there, to click it so you cannot dial. But you know, I learned a lot of tricks. There was a trick called, listen, we were the forefathers of hacking. You understand? We used to call it tapping. So if you want to dial 710, you just tap 567 1. You understand what I'm saying? And we will call, of course, when the phone bill comes, then my father calls, you idiot, better. So the TV of yesterday is different from the TV of today. The phone of yesterday is different from the phone of today. All the gadgets we are using are different, but the classroom of yesterday is the same as the classroom of today. That is where the problem lies. We cannot raise disruptors and innovators using the same archaic methods we always use. Is somebody hearing me today? So, listen. When I looked at it, around the world, this disruption is happening. What are you going to do? Your competitive edge is now going to lie in your imagination and not in your memory. Because I've always believed that if your memory is more active than your imagination, you are an endangered species. If you're always talking about the good old days, there are better new days. If you're always talking of how we used to do it, listen, if your past is more colorful than your present, then you are doing nothing in the present. You are a fossil. Go back to your past. You're a fossil, man. You were telling me, oh, back in 19-something, we used to do this, And then the worst part is when you're a CEO and you are living in strong delusion. Strong delusion. Not realizing you are a star of yesterday, still thinking you are a star. And say, we are the brand leaders today. Hey, Mumu, brand leader, my foot. No, is somebody hearing me? They were the brand leaders. Come on. Don't confuse yesterday with today. So it lies in imagination. And why am I really crazy about this? And I started by talking about benchmarks. The Great Pyramids of Giza. That was the base was 13 football fields. The height was 3,800 meters. Now, this was the tallest man-made structure. This was the tallest man-made structure, for 3,800 years. Okay? Now, my question is, who were they benchmarking? Nobody had done it before them. So, who were they benchmarking? One of the greatest limitations to disruption is the need to benchmark. It's the need to look for what somebody else has done, so we can do it. Listen, if Zuckerberg was looking for who had done Facebook, we would not have Facebook. Is somebody hearing me? So as long as we are looking for who has done something, we are not going to move. That is why I am bold to think and name my thinking after myself. When Pythagoras named his thinking Pythagoras theorem, Newton says Newton laws of motion. Maslow's theory of what? We know all those things. So I also have Wale's triangle. I have Wale's theory of clusters. I have Wale's law of relevance. Because the truth is this, your future is not determined by how intelligent you are. It is determined by how relevant you are. You can be intelligent and be irrelevant. The people that made the first typewriter, you know the typewriter? They were intelligent, but you bring that intelligence now and see what will happen to you. Is somebody hearing me? The people that created the rotor phone, they were intelligent. Let me tell you, your future does not lie in how intelligent you are. It lies in how relevant you are. And you need to understand, there are a couple of levels of intelligence. And let me take you through. The lowest level of intelligence is assumption. It is followed closely by academic intelligence. Now, most people stop at academic intelligence. Let me give you a very interesting logical way to see how academic intelligence is the lowest after assumption. Listen, when you are getting your first job, what do they want to see? Your papers, yes or no? So academic intelligence gets you your first job, isn't it? But the higher you rise, when you want to become a general manager, nobody gives a damn what you got in mathematics. Because the higher you rise, what happens is academic intelligence diminishes. And what people want to know, can you get the job done? Social intelligence is when you are able to make 2x plus 5 equals 20. You are able to make it solve problems in the present day. That is what is called relevance. Your value is not tied to your intelligence. Your value is tied to your relevance. So you are there, you are marketers, you are benchmark all the big marketing companies on earth, and you think you are doing something. Let me tell you, unfortunately, if that is where you are, you belong in the past. And the people that are going to disrupt you right now, they are not even going to come from the marketing field. They are just going to come from the intelligent field. They are able to see what is the problem, what is the solution. You are there with your big English and your big theories and your big thing. They will push you. People will wonder if you ever existed. Are you hearing me? So, how are you going to do this? There are 3 ways. Like these pyramids that I'm talking about. These guys had no benchmarks. They had no competition. They had only their imagination. And the boldness to believe that they could benchmark their own imagination. I have done a few things in my life. My first entry into what I'm doing was in the year 1989. I worked with the Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies in Nigeria. When I got there, that was what ushered me into all the things I'm doing now. So I've had 30 years to think, to impact, and to disrupt. So I am not telling you a theory. I am telling you something I have lived. The greatest threat to your success is your success. Did you hear what I said? The greatest threat to your success is what? And unfortunately, when we are doing SWOT analysis, when we are talking about threats, we never put success as a threat. There's something I call the arrogance of success. And the arrogance of success says we have done it this way, therefore we have come this far. There's a book you need to read. It's called What Got You Here Won't Get You There by Marshall Goldsmith. The truth is, the thinking that got you to the top is not the thinking that will keep you at the top. The thinking that's going to keep you at the top is a thinking that will sometimes involve cannibalizing your past success. I saw a Gillette advert, and this advert says, this is better than this. You know what they were doing? It was Gillette against Gillette. That before somebody disrupts us from outside, we will disrupt ourselves from within. Is somebody hearing me? Bill Gates said in his book, Business at the Speed of Thought, he said that in 3 years, everything that Microsoft makes, we give it a 3-year lifespan. So that means you may use it for 10 years. But as far as they are concerned, they give it a lifespan of 3 years. Is somebody hearing me? So by the time you are still celebrating it, they already have the replacement. But when we have fixed straight line thinking is when you think that everything is just going to go in a straight line according to your strategic plan. All things being equal. Things are never equal. So we need to think differently. Let me tell you 3 areas of disruption and I'll sit down. First area of disruption is what I call product disruption. Product disruption. Now, product disruption is when you are taking a new product to make old products irrelevant. All right? And we are seeing that. We are seeing what people like Netflix are doing to normal television. We're seeing what people like Netflix and all these guys are doing to my friends on that table. You understand what I'm saying? Are you hearing me? So that's product disruption. But not everyone can go into product disruption. So there's another level of disruption which I call process disruption. Process disruption, we don't touch the product, but we deal with the process. So Jeff Bezos, when he started Amazon was not a product disruption. He was not writing books. He was not publishing books. You know what he was doing? He was altering the process, how the book gets to the customer. And by altering the process, he has become the richest man in the world. Process disruption. Then the third level is what I call service disruption. And this is where all of you can plug in right now. Listen, if you are number one and your focus has been on competition and you are number one, then where will your focus be? What do you focus on? You are now number one. But you know what? If your focus is on the customer, things will always change. And this is so crucial. Service disruption is disrupting the interaction with the customer. There are 3 levels of interaction with the customer. There is the expected. And that is when you go to a hotel, you want to eat food, you pay X amount, you get the food. They've not done something spectacular. It's what you were expecting, isn't it? Nobody gives you a pat on the back for doing the expected. Then there's the impressive, where you do what is expected with a nice attitude. At the same time, nobody gives you. Sorry. Now, those two levels will produce customers. But customers are very fickle. They are very fickle. They are not dependable. There's a third level called the unexpectedly impressive. Unexpectedly impressive will produce ambassadors. Is somebody hearing me? Where you want to go to, you want to move from customer service to ambassador service. You want to move from creating customers to creating ambassadors, because the customer is with you as long as things are good. But the ambassador stays with you especially when things are not good. That's when the ambassador stays with you. Now, great service, like I said, will produce customers, but experiences will produce ambassadors. So what we need to be asking is not how many more customers we can get. It is, what is the MultiChoice experience? That is what we should be asking. What is the experience? Because let me tell you, once experience is guaranteed, cost becomes irrelevant. You can buy Coca-Cola outside this hotel for 35 shillings. Then you come inside this hotel and you say it's 100 shillings. Now, only a fool will begin to argue, why can you charge 100 shillings? Do you know outside they are charging for 35 shillings? Are you mad? Why? Because once the experience is guaranteed, the pricing, the cost is irrelevant. Am I making sense? So what we need to focus on is creating experiences. It's unexpectedly impressive. I told the story, some of you may have heard it. I used to fly British Airways to England. And then one day there was no seat available. So I went to Virgin Atlantic, and Silverstone, you need to hear this one. I went to Virgin Atlantic. The experience started on the phone. I called this lady, her name is Carol. When she picked the phone, it was like she was expecting me. Then she said, oh my goodness, you have never flown Virgin Atlantic before. She made me think I have missed half of my life by not flying Virgin Atlantic. I hope Silverstone is listening. Because you know, you will either be a warning or an inspiration. There's nothing in between. No, is somebody hearing me? So she said, this is what I'm going to do for you. You buy an economy ticket and I will give you an upper class ticket. I will upgrade you. Wow. And then she said, I want you to experience the Virgin Atlantic Lounge at London Heathrow. So I did. I did not know my life was about to be altered forever. When I got on the plane at 35,000 feet, then this work of God appeared. Oh my God. Colombo, she looked it. She smelt it. She felt it. Oh, Mamma Mia. Then she said, then she sounded it. She said, would you like a massage? I said, my what? My what? My guinea what? Massage. I said, where? I said, where? She said, right here, I'll take you. We have a That is how Wale went to for massage at 35,000 feet. As she's massaging, I'm thinking, nearer my God, nearer my God. Massage, Silverstone, are you hearing? Massage at 35,000 feet. Who does that? I did not know that was just the beginning. Oh. When I finished massage, I went back thinking, hey, Chineke, life is good. When I then I had my dinner. Then after, she came with a package and said, your pajamas, sir. Pajamas. Then, Virgin Atlantic was one of the earliest ones to introduce flatbed. in first class. She said, and please let me know when you'd like to retire so I can come and tuck you in. I said, talk what? Talk what? Tuck me in. I'm ready. I'm ready, ma. Listen, that is how I changed into my pajamas. I came, and this chick, she had done the bed. I got in. She covered my sweet dreams, Dr. Wale. Sweet dreams. Now, then when I was coming back at the Virgin Atlantic, the lounge at Heathrow, they had everything. Jacuzzi, manicure, pedicure, pedicure, every cure you can think of, they had. And then I'm coming, there is massage again. So please, my people, I beg, tell me, if you are me, will you look at any other airline? Let me tell you, even if I had to go to Lagos, I will fly. Nairobi, London, massage go. London, Lagos, massage come. Lagos, London, massage go. London, hey! Silverstone, don't worry. So that is how I became an ambassador for Virgin Atlantic. Is somebody hearing me? I am telling Virgin Atlantic story. Now listen. If they did not give me a massage, would I have missed it? No. That is what creates ambassadors. Unexpectedly impressive. And that is a place where everybody can have an edge right now. If you cannot win the product war, if you cannot win the process war, you can win the service war. By creating unique experiences for your customers. Are you hearing me today? So, I became an ambassador. White Sands, I have been the ambassador for many years. In fact, I stay in the same room. How did I become an ambassador for this place? Let me tell you what happened. I was living in America. I flew from Los Angeles. I came here to Kenya, to Mombasa. And I went to this hotel which I will not dignify. I will not dignify their stupidity and mediocrity by mentioning their name. I went there and there was this idiot, it was actually a collection of idiots at the counter. And when you have idiots multiplied, it's a big problem. So I get there, I've come from LA, I'm tired, I'm wearing my jeans, and they told me very bluntly there is no room. Very rudely. I begged, I said, look, maybe somebody will check out. They said, no. Then right there, they said, why don't you try White Sands? I did not know White Sands existed. I'm coming from Los Angeles. I did not know White Sands. I knew Marriott or whatever. Are you hearing me? So, and that's the thing. Bad service is great publicity for your competition. And it is free. So I got here. When I got there, that guy with his green and white thing, he welcomed me so well, like he was expecting me. I had to look back to see if there was somebody else. You know, you've been there when somebody is waving at you and you look back. They welcomed me so well. I got to the reception there. Then they brought the juice, they brought stuff. One thing I hate doing, I hate filling forms. I just hate it. So this lady comes, looking it, sounding it, you know, and then she comes and she said, where did you come from, Dr. Wale? I said, please sign here. Then I'm taken to my room. Then that night I'm taken to the restaurant. I go to the restaurant and all the waiters that were serving me were calling me by my name. How do you think I felt? Thank you. I felt so special. And let me tell you something. This is the only life I have. It's not a rehearsal. No, it's not a rehearsal. So I treat myself well. And I expect people to treat me well. I go where I'm celebrated, not where I'm tolerated. Because it's not a rehearsal. So they are calling me by my name. They treat me so well. When it was time for me to go back to America, I'm feeling sad that I have to go. I don't know whether they were acting or not, but they also looked like they were sad that I was going. I get back to America. Next time I come to Kenya, do you think I go to the Mumu Hotel I used to go before? I came straight to White Sands. When I got here, they remembered me. So I was not a statistic. I was a human being. Safaricom, 100% human. I was a human being. I went in, same thing. Now, like I said, since 1989, I've been impacting human lives like this, talking to leaders, working with leaders. So with my big mouth, I go back to America. And I begin to talk about this hotel in East Africa, in Mombasa. That December, I came here with 30 business leaders. From that moment, I began to talk Safari and Sarova, White Sands, everywhere I'm going. People that want me to work for them, UN, name it, I tell them in Mombasa, I stay in only one place. It's White Sands. That was the time I was working for some client, they put me in another hotel. Then I called Bora, late Bora, I called him, I said, my bro. Now, it is important for you to know this. At the point I was doing this, none of them knew me. I did not do it because I knew anybody. I did it because I had experienced something I needed to share. Then we became close. I called him, I said, hey, I am in this hotel, I cannot sleep. I have tried to sleep, I cannot sleep. He said, don't worry, just wait there, we're going to evacuate you. Stay where you are. Is somebody hearing me? I have brought millions and millions and millions in business by bringing people right here. Are you hearing me? Why? Because I had an experience. So let me tell you for the last time. Product disruption, yes. If you have the capacity. Process disruption, absolutely. But you know what? Service disruption, you don't even need a budget to begin your journey of service disruption. You don't need a budget. What we are doing, I developed an index called the Customer Experience Index, helping organizations to measure the efficacy of their relationship with customers. With customers, listen, with creating the experience, you don't need a budget to start. And at the end of the day, when people are guaranteed of the experience, cost won't matter. There's a book I have. I've written 15 books. I'm on my 16th one. Thank you, Jennifer. Let me just talk about this. So this one is called Mental Independence. And this is what I want to talk about today. I said there are three kinds of people. Those whose brains die before they die. Those whose brains die with them. And those whose brains never die. The final category are those whose minds were able to produce in their lifetime things that remained relevant years after they were no more around. Have you ever wanted to become a powerhouse of innovation and creativity? Now, so this book, I wrote it to talk about some of the things I'm talking about tonight. Product, process, and all that. How many of you would like a copy of this book? You like a copy of this book? All right, so I'm going to give everybody a copy of this book for free. Terms and conditions apply. I learned that from you guys now. So what are the terms and conditions? There are so many books there for you to choose from. Buy any two and they will give you mental independence for free. On that note, thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.
Play soundboy. Mr. Sound. Igwe. There's Igwe. Igwe. Much appreciated, Dr. Wale. We so much appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
on my own. Then I start to remember just why I surrendered. Felt so good that I can't let go. And I'm back to where I was again. Take you in as you took me out. Cut this string, I'm getting higher and I can't seem to calm down. Tell me how can I wait? Tell me how can I take a chance on it all? Cut this string, I'm getting higher and I can't seem to calm down. Deceive me, make me think that I need more from you than you will give out. Why can't I just listen? I create my prison, I'm chained by my